The final couple hours of the trading session here for what's turning into a very busy week. I mean, there's a couple of interesting talking points to discuss this afternoon. Oil trying to bounce right now, but down 2.5% on the afternoon. We are dealing with negativity right across the board as far as energy is concerned. Both the S&P and the NASDAQ basically flat on the day. As far as negativity as well, Tesla is still grinding lower here. We're back to 193, looking like it wants to take out the lows as we speak to the downside for Tesla. So EV weakness continuing right across the board. Root, on the other hand, 27% to the upside, having quite the day here. We'll touch on the overall market. We'll touch on a few things as we get going here this afternoon. Are we doing the podcast early?
Yeah.
What's happening?
All right, welcome to episode 15 of the podcast. I got a game to go to tonight.
Sean is hijacking the afternoon show.
We're going to do the podcast live. No, I just want to give people a feel of what we do, you know?
Yeah.
We talk a little off the cuff here. We sit like this. We get a whole bunch of stuff happening.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And we have some good things planned out. We had some Bitcoin fun last time. I think we'll talk about a stock named NVDA, maybe, possibly.
No.
I've been making some notes. I have some fun things to ask you.
Okay.
I have
random questions again? I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I have some random questions. I have some would you rather stuff I'm going to ask.
Oh. Give me a teaser.
Get ready for that.
Give me a teaser.
All right.
Is it like pepperoni versus mushrooms on pizza?
Would you like that one, Brendan?
Or both?
All right, I'll give a very, very simple one. Okay, would you rather have brunch with your wife or dinner with your wife?
Both.
I'm out of here.
Yeah, apparently we're echoing on each other's microphones, so that's probably a bad idea anyways. It's Friday afternoon. I don't know. Sharif's going to come in here. And we'll touch on what else is going on as far as the market is concerned. I was getting a huge echo in my earpiece as well. Let's talk about a few things as far as the market is concerned. If you were with us in the first 30 minutes this morning, it was all about NVIDIA. Here's the heat map. I mean, it's a bit of a mixed board, as everyone's well aware at this point, but here's the heat map. 1.7 to the upside for NVIDIA, 2.8 to the downside for AMD. Apple's red, everything else there or thereabouts. Notable strength in banks this afternoon. This afternoon specifically, they were kind of quiet to start. As I was mentioning, energy to the downside here. XOM, CVX leading as far as decliners are concerned. But that's about as mixed as you're going to see the board overall on a Friday afternoon here, with the market basically flat. Guys, all right, go. Touch on NVIDIA here, or stocks. How about that?
Brunch. That's my answer.
Guys, we're $6.
Not that you asked me, but
$6. Well, I would have asked you.
No, I'm just saying it's like it's not a hard question to answer. It's not.
No, I mean, I just made it up on the spot.
There are questions you could ask. It's like,
oh, I have more.
Yeah, about in relationships with one, you might want to keep that one close to the vest, respect privacy and all. It's brunch. I love brunch. Brunch is fantastic. It's actually a tradition in our home. We eat brunch every single weekend. Ever since we started dating, she put me on to Saturday and Sunday, all about brunch. Take the time to make it. But yeah, NVIDIA, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just getting all my stuff set up here because I didn't have the right Unity thing yet. But we're good now going. Okay, look, NVIDIA, let's just go. I mean, I don't know. We've been talking about it during the midday show. Thank you for all the support on More Trader TV as it just keeps on getting bigger and better. We're in another $6 winner. Like, honestly, this has been, now what, Fabian? Like, fix what? I only told you, no, get away, bro. I mean, is that better, Fabian? Okay, good. No, so we're just playing around here. So what's up, guys? We've got a firm short. We've got NVIDIA short. NVIDIA should be a fun short, man. Look, and this just goes back to some of the lessons Neil was talking about, some of the stuff that I'm talking about all day as well, is like you take shots until you get one. And we got it, man. We just took that out at 796 again. It's like a couple losses here at VWAP as we kind of broke. I mean, they're not losses. I mean, some of them are losses, some of them are wins. We kept getting out in and around VWAP. Then finally the break happens and it's a short side move. Look, NVIDIA's still up on the day. It is going to be I mean, we keep talking about it. It's a number. I mean, how could this not be the #1 stock? I mean, boom, boom, boom. It's been a huge win, and I'm just glad we've been focusing on it today. We took a first hit on We took a first hit on NVIDIA. Are you talking about the temperature?
I was just looking around because he looked around.
Oh, I've already jacked up these things, or them down like a lot. AMD, we got out of the way fast on this one. Look at this. Like, this could have been a day ruiner for sure. So we'll have one red stock today. It'll be AMD. One red stock, AMD. So there it is, a nice move to the downside. We'll see what happens there on that one. And actually, Amazon was battling back, and then we also had a similar hit on Amazon right here when we averaged into the long at 175 before eventually it broke, but made a little bit back there on Amazon. So, ooh, I like that. What was that bumper all about? Put that bumper back. No, ain't a secret.
I didn't see it.
Now it's out. No, secret is out. It's not a secret.
Just put the bumper up.
I just saw it. Put that bumper back on.
Ram, put it back, please.
All right, well, Ramin doesn't want to. Okay, so we'll keep that up. But we'll, more secrets to come. Will I or will I not go over and sit where Sharif is very soon?
Well, I didn't see it when it just popped up there because I was looking at my
Well, Neil, I'd like to tell you what it was, but it's a secret. Okay, so right now, let's just go. We got AMD is one. ARM is another one. NVIDIA is another one. But what about Intel? We put Intel on the board right here. Intel, boom, one trade. You want to talk about real trading? One trade right there on Intel. There's the short, right back into highs. This short was 5 cents worth of risk. Now in the money, 15. We just took it out there at 15, which was 18 pennies in the money. Of course, we're getting this out. Whenever we can get 2 to 1, we'll take on a name like Intel. There's the move down. We're just continuing this day. We're having a great day here. We're going to keep some energy for the pod, but it's been a really fun afternoon and a fun lunchtime, and I hope that you guys are all watching the show on More Trader TV and on the main channel here as we had a good midday with Adara and Sharif.
Yes, sir. And you're absolutely right, 4L Taz. Using the parent voice did not convince Ram to put that back, which is fine. I'm in Micron and I was out of Intel from VWAP here. And I'll give you the reason why. Like I liked this morning, the 43.5. Every single day this week, I think Intel's been a short. I didn't disagree with that today, but it played the range, held the range on a double bottom, and then broke out and looks a little bit bullish to me. So it feels like a VWAP bounce play. That said, if you look at it, it's still nice downward trend right into the bottom. If it breaks out 43.5, that's a much more bullish look. So I don't think necessarily this is a strong stock yet, but in the 3-minute, it did look bullish. Now Micron, the difference here is Micron consolidation, failed breakout today. That's why I kind of like Micron this afternoon if the market's going to flush. Like failed breakout this morning and then lower high this afternoon. I think there's room if the market goes down into the low of the day. Of course, keep in mind this is a little bit bullish of a setup as well. So if it breaks 86.10, I want to be out of that one. So this is the one I'm watching. If the market holds 18,000 and breaks it out, I do feel like there's a few chip names that might catch some bids. Oddly enough, Intel could be one of them. I don't know that I want to put it in that bucket just yet. I feel like the short's been generally good, but I'm in Micron for now.
All right, let's go to block to the downside. Yeah, it's 26 Celsius in here right now. So I think everything, including our brains, are melting at this point. Block had quite the move out of the gate this morning. It's done not a heck of a lot since the forecast was a little bit better than expected if you missed it after the close yesterday. So huge monster gap higher here this morning.
Yeah, it's the Cash App, Brendo. It continues to really boost this particular name. About a 25% increase in the amount of transactions being used on the Cash App and a 22% increase in the users using the Cash App. So they're really relying on that. The Square app did good as well. The point of sale terminal for merchants continues to grow. So even though they didn't beat on the bottom line, they beat on the top line, but not the bottom line. So we'll continue to see how they do.
Pretty good opportunity if you're looking for it this morning through that pre-market high, guys, on the long side.
Which stock? Square. Oh, yeah, Square, one of the #1 names here on the sticky note. And, of course, it is a banger. The only problem is I got rid of it a little too quickly. So it's a good positive name. We talked about the long Square here at 80 bucks. We liked it so much we took it early. So that was that. And now we'll see what happens with Square moving forward. So there's the early break at 80, out at 80.50. out there at 81, so obviously a decent trade there. Before coming back in, and look what we bought. Looky, we bought the bottoms there in this name. But bottoms for how long? We're gonna wait to find out, because we could take out that bottom again. It's not, look, it's up 18%. You know, I don't think that there's really a problem here with the name. However, it is continuing this move. So let's wait to see. We just touched out at 82. We've gone long here at 80. We got out, like, these are 80. Oh, sorry, that's not 80. What am I talking about? That's 78.60. So some of these outs, again, 79.50. That's 79.50. We got out once it broke back below the 50 period. But the problem is we didn't enjoy this move all the way up. So my bad on that one. Square continues to be a problem today with not much movement. I mean, it wasn't the greatest early. I mean, it was great. We had the 80 long. I mean, it's written here right on the sticky note. So it's not just an NVIDIA world today, man. It's a Square world as well. But the thing is, we didn't have that very high print. We actually had it, and we were talking about having that print, but unfortunately, it broke, and we didn't get it. So I was there, I was canceling. I had sort of like rose-colored glasses, thinking that this stock was gonna rip to the moon, and it did. You know, we had $3 clean, and we didn't take it like twice. So I feel a little bit bad about that, but again, Square, hey, we talk about this all the time. A green day is a good day, and on Square, it was there, but little disappointing, because we did have 80 long, and you know, we marked it on there. Should have taken that $3 when it was there. So I hope you guys did, but definitely your boy missed that. But hey, it's a positive name today. Like, we're up just as much as on Square as we're on a firm right now, and we've got 40 cents in the money on a firm. So the only reason I talk about that is because of FinTech. I do want to ask Brendan some questions about FinTech as well.
Oh, so far.
Yeah, 37.20 right here. We're getting near the bottom again for a firm. So we just shorted that, as a firm has been my favorite short in this market for a long time. We've talked about a firm short at $50. I mean, that's right now 37. We've talked about covering that. Let's see how low a firm goes. And now that it's right here, right now, I feel like we need to put another bid in and get this a little bit covered. So today, man, not only are we cruising with chip names, but we're also doing damage here on FinTech. So far, so good here. I hope you guys are enjoying everything.
I'll say that it's not a Square world, because Intuitive proved it when they landed on the moon, and obviously saw images of the curved Earth, baby.
Right.
What's up now, flat earthers?
Yeah, what's up now, Kyrie Irving?
Oh, Kyrie. He got handles though. He's got handles. I'll take Square. I didn't trade it, but when you're up 18%, sometimes maybe you don't go like that other parabolic move up. But have a look at PayPal here. Because on a sympathy play, PayPal is trending higher and trying to break out a flat top. This is 59, call it 59.44, maybe 59.50 if you want to round up. It doesn't have a ton of volume behind it, but if this starts picking up, if the market can catch a bid, I do like PayPal for some relative strength. Sympathy play, trending higher, survive the dip buy, and as long as it can hold some higher lows, if we can get a market bounce, I do like it. Next push down, I'm in front of VWAP on Micron, just a bit of an update there. But yeah, I got PayPal in my sights because of the relative strength that it's been holding compared to Square. Don't wonder if it can't break it out. The issue would be, it's not going to matter if the NASDAQ doesn't hold 18,000.
A note here, Neil, you were talking about PDD. Lawmakers, Temu banned linked to forced labor concerns. That's from the information. So it looks like the move on Pinduoduo related to the Temu app. Let's talk about Carvana here, CVNA, another one with a huge move after the close yesterday. And then we gap higher even this morning on this better than expected report from CVNA, shockingly.
First ever profit, Brendo. They've never turned a profit. Now they have. Fantastic look for them. They've also cut and refinanced more expensive debt, about $1 billion worth of debt. They've got an opportunity to refinance that at a lower rate. Good look for them. Let's see what they do. But yeah, up highly on the day.
Yeah, huge move out of the gate this morning as well. It's basically given it all back, though, guys.
It has. And look, I'll cop to it. There was we talked about Carvana yesterday in the afternoon, liked it for the squeeze potential, came in today, there was a 70 breakout. I said those infamous words, those are the ones that you like, the ones that you don't like. I liked Meta for the breakout at the open because the 490 was there. But the difference being, like, the Meta was on my morning mix, it was on my note that I wanted that long if it broke. But the 70, I was like, okay, maybe I'll trade that 70 at 9, if it breaks it out a little bit later on in the day. Consolidation break is how I described it, so I missed that trade. All you can do is take the next available. If I liked long in Carvana, I think there was one shot that I liked, and it was when it made the higher low bounce off VWAP. So that's the only trade I have today. This is your bounce in, this is your hold the higher low, this is it going right into the lower high. Quick in and out on Carvana. It ended up being a one and done for $1.70, and that's it. If anything, this looks like it was just a short off the lower high, but I wasn't thinking short today on Carvana. So I took the one shot that was available for the long that's set up for me, and I moved on. The good news for Carvana bulls is it's still in the midst of a breakout on the daily. The shorts can't feel comfortable the longer this holds above $60 to $62. So it's still very much in breakout territory. You can zoom this out a while before you even get back to these levels. And the gap, not that this wants to fill out now because my daily chart doesn't feel like it wants to load. Let's just say that the gap from that 60 level goes to $100 if you pull that chart back far enough. So the shorts are probably at least a little bit sweating the longer this holds above 60, but I'm done trading it for today. It was a one and done for me on Vana.
Look, I got to give a big shout out to Danielle Shea. Obviously, that was a good trade, but she keeps mentioning, like, if a stock is outsized on their release, then you can take that trade. And that's exactly what happened. We talked about this in the pre-market. I was just too obsessed with all these other names, which I'm kind of glad I was. The pre-market break highs. So, like, when Carvana was down here and we were talking about it, I guess when it was 8:30, it was more down here, 66. I was like, this 70 break is going to be legit. Just didn't take it. So congratulations to you that did. Or this break up here, if you're really going to use the true pre-market high breaker. So I know this is probably staying up here for a while from yesterday after earnings, but maybe it was 71 or 72. So there's a little dance, and then there's the break higher. So lesson learned from Miss Danielle Shea. And if you're watching the market recap show, then you probably would have had Carvana long as well. So congratulations. Next time I'll trust myself a little bit more as well and take that breakout on a trade that is producing outsized expectations on earnings. Carvana's move was, I think, 16% expected. So, when it's opening up and it's up 20%, that's an outsized move. I'm going to do some more work on this because, again, I only trust myself with trading, nobody else. So that's been working. So let's keep looking into it. And I want to thank Danielle Shea for that little tidbit there. I'm going to keep watching it.
I just saw Etsy popped up here. Haven't been able to find anything, but 4.8% to the upside, just broke through 74. Might have just been stops going off or something above 74 there, but just be aware. Etsy moving around. PDD still to the downside as well. Again, if you missed it, there was a note on PDD regarding the Temu app and some labor concerns. So heads up on Pinduoduo downside. Let's talk, EVs, as we saw when we came on there at 2 o'clock. Among the weakest today as far as individual names, it was Rivian we were discussing out of the gate this morning. Tesla was down slightly, but Rivian down more again today on some analyst negativity.
Yeah, double downgrade today from UBS for Rivian, from buy to sell, foregoing neutral altogether, dropping the price target to around $8. Elon, taking to X the joke about the plight of Rivian and giving RJ Scaringe some pointers about what he has to do to scale this, that, and the other. With respect to Tesla's headline itself, it's about an 8,700 vehicles in China. They're going to have to get updated over the air, Brendo, with respect to some issues and collisions over there.
Yeah, negative to end the week here for Tesla. I'm still looking for anything on this, guys, but Etsy with a decent move there.
Yeah. So I'll let you, we always let you guys know what we're doing sometimes in our personal accounts and some plans of action. So I had set aside some cash that was on the sidelines specifically for if I wanted to add to a shot play in Rivian after earnings or in the second quarter. The answer now being no. The second the answer was no for me, I took that earmarked money and put it right into Tesla because I wanted to be in that space. So what am I going to do when I want money in EVs? And there's only one place to put it. That answer is Tesla. It's down it doesn't matter where the price was. I mean, I don't remember the exact price I got, but to be out of the money now because Tesla's at the low. But the thing about Tesla was the 198 level. It just didn't quite get there. We talk about levels and setups, and if you don't quite get that opportunity in terms of price action, sometimes you don't get the trade. I felt like that was the Alamo for Tesla. Had it broken out, I think I would have been looking for longs above. But it's still a short, down. The problem is 192 has been support for 2 days. So I don't know that I would want to be playing this short unless it comes back into 94. All that said is Rivian had a couple of bounces. I tried 3 bounces on Rivian today and went 1 for 3. But this is now underneath VWAP and barcoding. So I would flip the script. Well, I'm looking to flip the script here and say, why not be shorting this if it flat bottom breaks it? If Rivian does not hold on to this consolidation and tries to break down, flip it in the other direction. I've already mentioned Nikola. Nikola it's a bit of a breakout play, squeezing. There's room on that bad boy to like 83, but if it can't hold on to 74, I'm going to jump out of it. I do like Rivian. If it holds under VWAP and makes this consolidation break down, I'll look to go short.
Yeah. Just looking here, we're going to cover. I'm going to cover it, but I just have to, let's talk about some of the bangers that we've been having today here again. Affirm, we just covered some more down there, so I'm getting close on this name just to kind of not throw in a towel or anything, but like cover the remainder of this. NVIDIA's been, today it's been, I mean, like I said, I'm not sure if this is the number one P&L or if it's Amazon, but this is getting close to the number one P&L trade or stock that you've seen on Trader TV Live. All right, so we'll this year. We'll wait to see here. 802. So I'm just waiting. I'm wondering about this bounce. I only have a small piece left. So that's that. What are we talking about? Tesla versus Rivian. Yeah, so Neil and I were discussing this earlier, and I think you just have 2 different buckets, right? You have one that you believe in and one that you're just taking because you think there could be something. The smartest guy in the room continues to be Brendan, who's already sold this on warnings, and so it's gone. But, for the rest of us, we'll have to hold and wait. So right now it's below 52-week lows. I'm not buying any more of this name, period. We put in a very, very small portion in yesterday at 11.25. We talked about it. I've had people message me about it, asking me about this name, and I've told them the same thing. If you want to put some candy in here, fine. But, no way that I'm going to be investing anything serious in Rivian. All right, so Tesla, different story completely. I mean, I think this can hold. There's a lot of negativity surrounding Tesla these days, right? This is the kind of stuff we'll probably talk about some stuff like this on the podcast. Whether or not it holds 180 or not, to be seen. This is not a play for me again where I'm trying to swing in and out of this, okay? Like if Alibaba gets to like 90, we're long at 72, we'll probably get out. We bought this at 186 and had an opportunity to get out here at 210 and didn't. 186, did I say 96? 186. Got an opportunity to get out here, we didn't. I'm just averaging into this the whole way. I like Tesla. I think the Model 2 or whatever the lesser model is, when that hits, I feel like it'll be hot, and we'll just move on from there. So I like Tesla. I think you can buy it as far as the trade today. I mean, that 195, 196. I think you just watch VWAP, watch the 200 period. It's clearly sloping down, so we've got to do some damage here on Tesla at some point. Is it today? Is it tomorrow? I don't know. But right now, Tesla, not necessarily performing the greatest.
All right, SMCI to wrap things up here, down huge, 12%. I mean, it's also up huge, depending on how you want to look at it.
Exactly.
But if you missed it this morning, $1.5 billion coming through on a 5-year convertible senior note offering for SMCI. I mean, it's worth noting they did fill the gap there right out of the gate this morning and then just straight downside.
Yeah, so this debt can convert to equity at some point in the future if the debt holder chooses. And the interesting part about this is what price that could convert to. So basically here, it's going to convert to about $1,300 and change. That's about a 37.5% premium to where SMCI was trading this morning at the open. So great look there. Let's see what they do. They definitely need the cash, Brendo.
Yeah, another one looking like it's rolling over right now, guys. Back to 850 here for SMCI.
Failed 1,000 again, ish. I guess technically speaking, it never got to 1,000 today. $995.
Oh, yeah.
Distinction without a difference at that particular point. So it failed 1,000 for the second time. And look, this is a squeeze name. Someone in the chat actually was asking, like, how come everything else is squeezing and GameStop isn't squeezing anymore? It's just, it's what's hot. And when you have names like SMCI or Carvana that steal the thunder, then no one cares about GameStop. And the low floats have been better than some of the old squeezes. Nobody cares about AMC and GameStop. There's other things which are giving bigger returns, and people have been trading SMCI to the upside, and congratulations to all of them. It's down 12% today and seems like it's unwinding. Raising cash, probably a smart, wise decision in that situation. But I'm not trading it. I just actually reloaded Micron. Oh, by the way, I did get the fill in Rivian. Rivian just broke that flat bottom. So this little consolidation for the last about a half an hour just broke down. I got 36s on the way in. You can sort of see how tight the consolidation is. This is 1020, the higher low that it put in this morning. So I've got bids down into 1020 on Rivian. That's the newest position for me. But I don't think I'll trade any SMCI. But that 1,000 level, if you were shorting something, you know, that was a pretty good level. It also gave you a good indication of what was going to happen to the chips at the time.
Like SMCI. Yeah, no, I think SMCI is going to be a great little name to trade, but it's more for options and a little bit less for what we're trying to do here because, you know, it's just, I mean, I could trade SM. We could both trade it. I haven't really looked at it, to be honest with you. Like, I pick on Rivian, but AMD, and I mean, you could see right now we're almost $6 in the money on NVIDIA. So I'm just going to stay with what I do best, and well, A, day trading, and B, just trading some of the same names that we continue to look at. So this is what we're doing. Possibly the 200 period could be something to get out on right now. I just noticing that I'm still long Amazon. We should probably get out of this one. As again, I was just waiting for it to go. We should have got out up there, realistically. We're still buying off these dips, but it's not a big position. We have way bigger fish to fry right now. So yeah, right now Amazon just continues to do this. We'll see if we can get it out. But yeah, SMCI, I think how the mighty will fall with SMCI, and I feel like this will be one of the first ones to go down. We already seen it happen when it went into 700. So this is when I asked Daniel Shea what kind of shorts should we be looking at here, and then the very next day we were down here, then we were down here again, then NVIDIA happened, and it's still having a problem getting through 1,000. So I still think that this is a story for a short, and you'll find it at some point. I just don't know what the options, how expensive it is right now. It's hard to trade as a day trade. Now it's okay, but you can see this is called level 1 up here. So we have $2 spread right now. So if you're using 10 shares or 20 shares, you might be able to get filled in the middle here. But let me move this over a little bit so I can see the time and sales a bit better. But you're going to see, if I filtered out like sub 1,000 share prints, you probably wouldn't see any. So there's just, you know, there's a 400 print in the dark with a D with an average price, so that's probably not an accurate fill right now. That could be a late report. But anyways, as it goes down, that's the kind of stuff that you look for when you're looking at an SMCI. Big share size, where it's being done, and hopefully in the lit market. But, you know, right now, 860 may be a level. After that, who knows? It's a tough one, and we'll go over to Brendan and wrap this up.
The rundown brought to you by Trade Ideas, real-time scanning and alerting used by everyone you see on the show. See what's moving in the moment with Trade Ideas. Check out the link in the description, bottom right corner right now. Scan that QR code as well to get you 20% off. It's been a very productive week on the Midday Show. Lots to learn on the terminology side of things. What's coming up next week?
We're talking about much more interesting stuff, very rudimentary this week. We just talked about terminology. Next week, we're talking about market theories. If you're into Elliott wave theories, make sure to check us out. Dow theory, random walk hypothesis, and Fibonacci's. Make sure to check that out on How to Trade with Adara and I next week, Brendo. Nice.
Long shorts, did you just get a mystery print on IWM and P-Pro 8? So if you're using Fibonacci's, which I don't, just make sure that you're using levels that actually exist. So example, on Rivian, you probably don't want to do something like this. Boom, let me throw my fibs up because that's not a real print. So my guess is, Mr. Long Shorts, that whatever you saw on IWM was just a dark pool wick. They happen from time to time. I know we've talked about this before. I don't see it. I have this one on IWM, but it's really easy to tell. That's why they don't really bother me so much. You know whether that's Phil's real or not. Like, there'd be a corresponding ridiculous volume candle if the stock actually did something like that. So the hint that it's fugazi is just that there's no volume accompanying an alleged $4 move. So I always have volume up there no matter what. I just want to make sure that you guys realize you might get those prints every now and then, but don't chart them, don't care about them. They absolutely don't matter. I was getting filled on Rivian when that print came up, $1.40 higher. So let's work on what's going on with this market. It's trying to hold 18,000. I got PayPal long off of 15. I want 59.10 to be my out for the long shot, and Rivian's the new short. I reloaded Micron. Let me go back over to that because I did get a fill for reloaded Micron. Trying to scalp that into VWAP. If it breaks out here, then we probably got to get out of it today. Mr. Long Shorts, it's showing at 4 p.m. today. Oh, I don't have any prints in the future. If you have charts that are showing prints in the future, that's a new one. Dark pool prints I've seen before, but prints in the future would be a new one.
Yeah, those shouldn't exist.
No. I don't know how that would even happen, but yeah, it's obviously not real if it's showing a 4 o'clock print.
No, it's 2:30 here in lovely Toronto, Ontario, Canada. All right, the market. All right, let's get back to the market and see what's going on right now. You okay there, Sharif?
What's going on?
All right. I don't know. Sharif is doing some stuff. All right. So, yeah. Oh, yes. More of that. Yes, more of that. All right. All right. Take care, Mr. Sharif. Good job today, of course. As per usual, have a good weekend. All righty then. You know what we haven't talked too much about here? Crypto. I haven't heard much talk at all about crypto today. 51.1. Let's have a quick look to see where said coins traded today. So we'll check in on Cardano, obviously, and all the rest of them, as you can see here. Let's go over and have a quick little look at all of this. We don't need all of that. Okay, so right now, so far today, I got to figure this out. Like, what is going on here? Back in. Okay, that's better. All right, so just having a quick look here. 15.118 looks like a decent top. What do I have here? This is a 1 minute chart. Let's see if we can go to a 5 minute here on crypto. Just have a little bit of a better look and zoom back out. So that's what I kind of thought. I sort of thought we were a little bit barcoding here. 51 up to 51.2. Like, yeah, not much action. The low of the day here, 50,006. Which is pretty interesting, up to 51.7. So it's about $1,000 there worth of range, right? 51.7 down to 50,600, and not doing much. So now that we can see that the crypto doesn't look like it's doing a whole heck of a lot, maybe we can go over and just check out Coinbase again, just because again another decent name. That I think is worth trading. I mean, it always hits key levels. And one more time, we went up to 190 there and fell back in. So, if you're trading, if you want to trade Coinbase, I really think you leave it alone until there's either, whoa, what happened down there? Okay, I have to, it's because I zoomed out. All right, I'm going to fix that for you guys after. You're going to have to wait, if you're going to trade Coinbase, until I feel like you really, really see something going on. And like right now, 51.5, we just showed you. It's a little bit of back and forth today. So look at the Coinbase chart. They had a great morning where we touched that high again. Maybe we'll look to things like that moving forward, man. Just like irrational behavior off the open. And then, could you call this kind of a move down? No. But we kind of went back into, I guess yesterday's close is right up there. There's not much. This is 50 period moving average.
That's,
and then it broke there.
Oh, you know what? The failed break of the 50 looks like a good
Neil's just looking at maybe the failed. We failed up there, then it went back in, and then you crossed it, and now you're underneath, and now you're kind of just, this is actually,
that looks like a
decision point right now, yeah.
I don't know, that looks longish to me, but you know what looks like a decent long is Mara right now. I hate to say it. Actually, no, I don't hate this. That's a weird thing to say.
I don't hate to say
No,
that.
I don't hate to say that. I don't even know why. It's down 1.5%, but I'm not a huge fan of sometimes getting married to this, what is the percent that it's down? Because since the open, does this look like a bearish or bullish stock to you? That looks like a bullish stock to me. Trended down, has been in an upward trend, holding a higher low, just bounced off VWAP at 24. I kind of like this. And Bitcoin might be going sideways, but Mara has had a tendency to not care the extent of any moves that are happening in Bitcoin and doing its own thing to a certain extent. It won't completely break the trend, but I do like what I'm seeing off of VWAP here. So if we bounce back in off 24, I'm going to say hey to this level and see if I can't get a fill down here and give it to that VWAP on Mara. But I did get Rivian, so Rivian's starting to come back in here. Yeah, that wick doesn't like to get cleaned up. The wick came back the very next day.
Yes, it does.
I did get rid of it. It just, for whatever reason, they like this print at 1190 and want to keep showing it to me. It didn't happen, but this just got down to 1030. I have a couple more bids into the 1020 level. Short here at 36. Let's see how far it can go down. I was risking the 41 on this trade, so we'll see how far it can go. I'll hold on to a piece in case it gets all the way down to the 1011 bottom. But it's been a flush day for me on Rivian. Keep in mind, I took 1, 2, 3 shots that you can see went 1 for 3. The short basically got into it and it just started working right away. That's generally a sign if you find yourself in a bunch of trades and you take the longs and they're painful, but then you take a short entry and it's easy. It can give you an idea of the direction of the stock or which direction you prefer to play.
All right. Yeah, no, I agree with all of this stuff. I'm trying to find some more trades here. I mean, I know you just called up Meta. I think that there's a possibility.
It's a little weak.
Yeah, there's a possibility for that. I mean, I want to trade names that are moving around here today. It's just like, I really want to try to hold this for this breakthrough. We already got one fill at this bottom. It's just like, do we tap out here for $2 once it takes VWAP at 800? Or do we actually wait for something to go down here? That's sort of the question that I have for NVIDIA. Are we going to get blown out on the top at 805? We only have a small piece left, but at the same point, it's not necessarily worth taking too much of a risk because we're sort of like topping up the day right now. Affirm's a good one. Affirm looks like it wants to break 37, so we came in to 37 there again. We just shorted this local high. Pretty simple. It was above VWAP, so it was a little risky, but it was right into the day's low there, the bottom of the pre-market. And then we shorted it, and it really paid out. So, again, looking at Affirm to break through 37 and looking for some more. Because I know Neil traded PAN-W earlier, let me just go back and have a quick look. We had a question on the midday show. I think it was Ian Rispetto had a super chat, so what's up to you, my guy? Thanks for the super chat and for asking. Yeah, I mean, you guys know, I bought PAN-W at 270. I mean, it was off the open the day that it reported, right? So it was 270. I have to go back and look. 272.50, 273, something like that, where we opened up that day. And then it happened to go all the way down that day into 260 right here. And then so it bounced off 260, a nice bump yesterday, and then another bump here again today. But the thing about PAN-W is, and hopefully this will load, and it might not load, but this is the thing that we talk about. Neil and I talk about it here, we talk about it on the podcast, and we talk about it all the time. And that is that buying names off of 200 period moving averages. So it came right into that level. And I mean, whether or not you bought at 261, 2, 3, 4, 5, 270, maybe even 280, if you're thinking that this is going to be a long-term hold, why not? I think it's in the right space. It's an election year. Their numbers were bad, but it was punished way more because, again, they have a high
Actually,
PE.
the numbers weren't that bad.
The numbers weren't that bad. No, that's what I was saying. Sorry. Yeah, the numbers were bad, but not that bad. They missed, I think it was by $2 billion or something like that, and they got punished over $30 billion. So PAN-W, again, high PE, but I like it. And honestly, up 6%, I'm thinking about...
No, don't do it. Hold it in.
You see that chart disappear and come back?
Every time that happens, I'm always looking somewhere else.
I'm going to rewind the stream.
I never see that happen.
But anyways, by the way, 284 break. I think it's worth a long. The actual high is 284.37. If you want to wait around for it, I don't blame you to wait for like 284.50. right there. But anyways, okay, here we go. That's Pan W, 284 and change.
Sorry, my stream over here is delayed, and I'm trying to see it happen. It's not going to happen.
I can watch it back.
Oh, look, Pan W, I agree with that 100%. The greatest thing about Pan, well, it's not the greatest thing. Now I'm overstating it. I do that sometimes. One of the best things about this is that move to the upside on Pan W. Look at this chart post-earnings. The pre-market top, 285, Ram, thank you, chart. 285 is today's high. So you break 285, can we say fill in the gap? Yeah, baby, that's what I want to see next week. I want to see Pan W filling in the 285 to 300 gap. That's what happens in bull markets. I did my thing where I take a trade and I have a target. And we always say stay in your lane, do your thing. VWAP to 281 on that lower high, VWAP to 281. Right after I got out of that trade, it went parabolic. So what are you going to do? Like, as I'm making that decision, had it been going parabolic, I'd probably like trail it or something, but I was out before that happened. It's kind of a random move when it decided to accelerate. I just happened to have gotten out a little bit earlier. But I love what's going on here. I don't necessarily see an entry that I'm in love with, however. Rivian just took out the 30s, so my next bid is sort of sitting here in front of 27 or 26. Just trying to work this one down. Micron is hanging on to 86. I'm at 86. It's at 86 even and not doing much. But that takes out the 10s. I want to get out of Dodge. I was just looking at Meta because Meta looks very weak right now. Down 0.5%, a little bit worse in the market. But check out what's happening at 485 on Meta. So kind of a volume spike in here. Sort of big candle to the downside. That's a bad wick. Volume spike, it looks like there. But this 485 looks like decent resistance. If we're getting underneath 18,000, I think Meta's worth a look. The problem is the futures are above the 18,000 mark. Doesn't have me wanting to look for shorts at this particular time. I think you want to participate in moves. I'd rather not be shorting bottoms and then watch the futures hold 18,000 and get blown out. Got to get the price you want and the setup you want in the afternoon, especially on a Friday afternoon. Do not throw away a good day and week by over trading on a Friday afternoon. That's not the time to do it.
Roblox maybe falling back in. Just a quick update here. If we can get a fill at 06 or 06, I put a bid at 06. Oh, there it is. So we'll just do that right there. We'll go bang. It's a good trade there. 50 cents on a firm. And we're still holding some of it. Let's see how far it goes. I mean, again, once we get to the 200 period there, we were just taking like 25 cents. And we basically took it all out at those levels. But again, good move to the downside here for the market. Let's just keep on going. All right, any questions you guys want? If you have any questions for us, ask us, because I feel like it might be a little bit of a slow day here into a Friday. Oh, I wanted to look at, I just called Roblox up there. I wanted to look at that. We talked about this a little bit with Michael Noss. It could be at a buy area again. Down 1% here today into a market that's flat, kind of like that for the long. Into support areas. But see, we kind of broke that right there. I'm wondering if there's like some garbage down here between 40, basically 42 and 41.80. But it's a nice downside push here. I almost wonder if we're missing something on Roblox. Like, this is a pretty decent move down. Yeah, I'm gonna stay away. I was hoping that if I flipped over here, I would see maybe a little bit more support somewhere. I mean, you could go long off of 41.80. You know, but I don't think you're far away from that now. Now you're 41.93, so it's not really looking like the greatest trade here for me on this one. All right, there's a question. What's up, Rage TV? I like that. I like that name. All right, what's going on Apple? I'll have a quick look on this one. It's been a while since I traded Apple. Just with these tech names so hot, the chip space, I've sort of got away from Apple, and I didn't even notice that there was this wick there. Give me a second, and let me edit this. 140, 184.31. Just put it in there so I have a better look. Still have these ones too. Okay. Yeah, actually, Rage TV, down 1%. You see how this looks a little bit different? You have the 200 here at 182.75, which isn't too far away. VWAP all the way up there. I don't think I'll have to edit these candles out. VWAP is looking like a much better trade because you sort of have this level up here of 183.50 that we can try to hold out if it does come back up. But VWAP is $1 away, so or 70 cents away. I don't think we'll get that. I think you can play the 200. I'm just going to look on another chart to make sure that this is right. But I feel like, yeah, 183, great short. And if you want to take it to 183.20, I stamp that one, Rage TV. I like this. And then if the market really gets spicy, we're holding a $4 winner on NVIDIA, 50 cents on Affirm, and 20 cents on Intel. So we have 3 winners right now, all short. Don't know if we want to get into Apple here, but we will get into Apple here. A break of 182.40 looks pretty good, because then we can use the 200 and the falling 50 as our out. So thanks for calling that up. I think that's a good level. A break right here of 182.30. Yeah, that's actually looking pretty good. So Apple, I'm going to have to mark that level down. I like it. 182.30. All right, I'm going to put that trade in. If Apple gets down there, I will break that one to the bottom. 182.30 for Apple. I like that one a lot.
I like it too.
Go ahead, yeah.
I know, just a question. Comp SRX. If you had a question that we missed, I tried to find it in there, but I know you're in there, but if we missed a question that you were asking, it's fine.
Ask it again.
Just ask it again, because you said, like, I don't know, it is what it is. I tried to find it, I couldn't. Before we go to our guest, I just want to point out here, I'll let you guys know if Nicola does anything. I am in this trade at 74 to 76. This is it at 75. It's now going sideways. I always talk about it, like, you get excited when it starts moving. If it starts breaking out, I got offers above. If it holds 74, fair enough. But it's kind of going sideways here. So if I'm not mentioning it, it's because it's not doing anything just yet. But let's get over to the desk. We've got our guest of the day.
Hey guys, yeah, thanks. We're happy to have Vocodia with us this afternoon. Brand new entrant in the AI space, very topical company to have with us on the direct sales side of things and the customer service side of things. Brian Podolak is CEO and co-founder of Vocodia and joins us on the show this afternoon. Good to see you, first of all, Brian. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
There we go. Audio is key. Good to have you. Yeah, let's jump right into this, because this is fascinating, and I think, as I mentioned, very topical for what everyone is thinking about and what's on everyone's mind of late, and that's the AI side of things. Give us an overview here to start on the technology itself and how it's going to fit into business-to-business communication.
Sure. Vocodia is a humanized conversational AI company that has a proprietary AI along with a proprietary phone switch. And the problem that we have solved and eliminated is hold time. Companies use our technology, their clients will never be on hold again. And AI with tens of thousands of agents on standby, always there to answer calls.
I mean, the target audience here, just from what you just said, is massive, obviously. Anything that has an inbound aspect to it is going to be a potential target here. What exactly is the benefit here for a company to come on board and try this out versus, as you said, the traditional call center aspect where, a lot of people get very sick sitting on hold?
Absolutely. Well, the first thing is the human limitation. You can have 200 agents on the phone and 5,000 calls come in. There's going to be hold time. Our solution has 20,000 agents sitting there available for the enterprise, and they only have to pay on their use. So if there's no calls coming in, there's no charge. At the same time they get that surge, we're able to be able to answer those calls 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, in over 55 different languages.
Maybe give a little bit of insight here, Brian, on the depth of this technology, in the sense that, I think everyone's had the experience of communicating, whether it be on a chat or maybe, with an email response type of AI in the past. And they get to a point where, you can go so far, but then it just gets to a point where you're like, okay, I need to talk to a human being here. How is this going to be different?
Well, it's exactly what it is. You get to call in, immediately get answered by our AI. It's personalized to the brand that we are supporting. It's going to answer your questions. Well, some of those challenges you have when you've had those calls is either you're in the wrong department, or they have to log into multiple different systems to find your information, or it's very slow, or you need to repeat your question over and over. Ours is truly humanized, conversational, trained on recordings that the enterprise already has. So we take 5, 10, 15,000 recordings. We train it in our AI. Within the 30 to 90 days, it's able to be deployed, and the enterprise can now offer their customers no hold time. So as great as the iPhone was when it came out, and is still an amazing device, when you hold it to your ear for 3 hours, it just doesn't seem to be as exciting. So we wanted to solve the other problem. Let's remove hold time. Let's have the AI get to the point of the customer. And how many times have you been transferred? Don't have to be. We have all the data, right? You don't have to go from tier 1 to tier 2. You don't have to have a callback. Instantly available information.
Let's talk a little bit about overall the way this technology is being viewed, not necessarily your company's technology, but AI in general is being viewed in some aspects in society. And that is on the stance that there's going to be a reduction in the workforce, some jobs shifting to other areas, some jobs being eliminated altogether. How do you address those concerns?
That's a great question. Right now, the call center space specifically has always had a very high attrition rate. It's traditionally a job that somebody's taken while they're going through school or looking for part-time. Majority of those jobs have already gone offshore. We've all had those experiences with various offshore agents. Sometimes it's hard to understand them because there's a lot of distance. We also have data concerns, right? That data is now outside of the country. So we're solving the data issues, the scaling issues, the communication issues all at one time. So in this case, AI has definitely given our customer a much better experience than any offshore solution ever could. And at the same time, you've probably heard about people not wanting to work. Well, there's those challenges where they're trying to keep those jobs in the US, but they can't hire enough people, or they have people on the phone that they'd rather get rid of because they're not performing well, and given that customer a poor experience. So Vocodia just is here to fill in those holes, allow the flexibility of that enterprise if they need to scale up or scale down instantly on demand.
Let's rewind here a little bit, Brian, and talk a little bit about your background. You come from a background of, in fact, the call center industry. Talk a little bit about how that experience maybe influenced and maybe helped along the way in the development of this technology.
Well, absolutely. We had several campaigns in Costa Rica where I spent over 17 years, and we had hundreds of agents. And sometimes you have those clients where the phone calls that come in are just people who are extremely frustrated, extremely upset because their internet out, their cable is out, whatever that issue may be. And as a human, after being called and yelled and screamed at over and over again throughout the day, how much would I pay you to get yelled and screamed at all day? So the attrition rate's very high. You do what you can do to have these agents to be able to go away and kind of calm down. And at the end of the day, we're all human. Nobody wants to get yelled at and screamed at all day. So the ability of taking that experiences that we've had over the last 17 years at the enterprise level and realizing what the enterprise is looking for, what their customers are looking for and expecting, and try to bring that together, there's just no way to do it with humans. It's impossible. The AI is a solution that makes literally everybody happy. The customer's happy, the enterprise is happier. You don't have to hold on time. You're given correct information. Have you ever called, asked a question, got information, gone to a trip, and then found out they were wrong? So we've eliminated so many challenges in a position, in a job, in an industry, which traditionally nobody stays at long term. Again, it's usually an interim job. And with all of the nobody wanting to work type comments or various verticals having hard times filling those holes, Vocodia is just doing that. We're filling the holes in those existing industries.
As we were saying to start things off, this is essentially a very scalable market and massive potential here as far as the use for this type of technology. Talk a little bit about where the company is at today and how the rollout process is going.
The company just had its IPO yesterday on the CBOE. We were very excited about that. As I'm sure you know, I'm now in a quiet period, so I can't talk too specifically, but I can tell you that the industry itself, the contact center industry, is big and growing worldwide. You see more and more call centers opening up still, even with this technology, literally worldwide. At the same time, how many times have yourself, I guarantee everybody listening here, probably in the last 30 days, has had a phone call with either an airline, a cruise line, a casino, the cable company for either tech support, scheduling, customer service. Hey, I just need to bring my car in for a service appointment. I can't get somebody to call me back to see the status of my car. So it's an ongoing, always will be, always has been situation. And so we think it's just the tip of the iceberg is where we are as a company today. Very, very early, but we see a very exciting future.
Yeah, I mean, you said it, early days as far as the AI industry in general, I think, is concerned, but the right space to be in. It's exciting times. Brian Podolak, CEO and co-founder of Vocodia. Thanks for doing this. Appreciate the time.
Thank you for having me.
All right.
So
Brian,
thank you very much,
congratulations
Brian.
on the listing.
Yeah, congratulations on the listing. I will say this, as somebody, my wife started in a call center at an insurance company and is now like an AVP at a reinsurance company, so shout out to her, she's amazing. And I used to hang out, I've been out to the bar with her friends that worked in the call center, and I can tell you when you talk about the attrition rate and sort of the difficulty of that job in terms of the toll it takes, it's real. I can tell you that from not my personal experience, but from experience within my family. So congratulations, shout out to you guys, and all the best of luck in the future. The futures, this is my segue. I said futures so I can go to the futures. We're still barely holding 18,000. When I say barely, like we talk about not over trading in the afternoon. Well, this is the NASDAQ. We're kind of holding onto this 18. You're not breaking away from it. This is a 15-minute chart, by the way. You're not exactly flying any direction here, but it is a slight bounce. A couple of things worth note. I did get some fills at 76 to 76.5 on the 75 long in Nikola, so that did give me some opportunity. However, for one that did work, Micron did not. It broke out the top here, so I'm out of Micron. It looks like this is a stair step up that I do not want to get involved with in this market, but I'm going to slap a fail on myself. Self didn't short Meta. So Meta, as the market's gently holding 18,000, Meta made a fresh low. So that 485 is in the rear view. And Meta looks very weak right now. I don't have to tell anybody, this is not something you can't see, but Meta started out very strong. Actually, Meta was a great breakout trade. I loved the breakout this morning at 490. You guys know about that. I was in it. I tried one little reload for a tight stop, and that was it. Now the stock looks incredibly weak as far as I'm concerned.
All right. Yeah, I thought that was a really interesting interview. That guy's a great voice, actually. Okay, so 795. Like, I still think that this market is, it's like tipping right here. Like, I don't, we're still battling around 18,000. I wonder if we'll finish the day underneath. Maybe that could be a poll, but the NASDAQ rate now, let's just look at a larger frame here because, yeah, you know what? I mean, when you look at it from, whoa, hello, where did we go?
Heyo.
Right now.
Okay, now I've seen it happen.
Down a little bit better. Okay, 18.1. We've touched it, and we didn't really think about breaking. I mean, we got a wick up to 18.150. Actually, we talked about that before on that kind of a wick right there. So, just back on the 12th, we had a similar push up. I mean, it looks very similar, right? This, and then whooshed up. Same thing here, this, up. And then we tagged 18.122, and then we tagged 18.140 or so. Both times, it happened there. Maybe this is the indicator that the longs don't want to see. What did the buyers get exhausted there? Was that the NVIDIA top? I talked about it yesterday when the market was up 3.5% or 3.1% or whatever. As soon as we got that IPO filed for Reddit, I was like, that's it, it's the top of the market. Let's see if that remains the truth. The short on NVIDIA today was what it was. I mean, we nailed this short. And I still think it goes a lot lower, but, right now, look at this barcode action. I mean, if you get your phone and you scan this, I wonder what it's going to tell you. But, right now, not much happening right there. We're going to have to see if there is a further push down in NVIDIA. Affirm, by the way, we cook in that one. Let's see if that can get through. We're like letting it cook. We're like Russell Wilson here. We're trying to let this thing cook. Russell Wilson.
He's not cooking much of anything. Oh, he's probably cooking some meals at home.
Yeah, he had his best offensive year of his career, but the problem is...
It's the contract.
It's the contract.
Didn't matter.
Yeah, thank you so much, D-Rob, and everything like that. We've nailed a lot today, and we're just going to keep on trying to do that. Yeah, Square we got out of, that's at 80. That could be something interesting. Shopify moving around, just came up on a scanner. Okay, so Shopify, I'll show it to you. It's trying to break a little bit lower, but there's so many names right now, and like Shopify is another one of those names that we had gotten out of on the downside, on the upside of Shopify on the way up, and we felt pretty bad when we got out here, like 83, 84, when it went to 90. But then you could see there was the earnings. So it's like sometimes we get out and NVIDIA is going to be a mistake because we got out yesterday at 780. Not out of it all. We talked about getting out of 25% over the last 2 days of our NVIDIA holdings. We still have a lot. But the thing is like sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So, you know, you get out here ahead of earnings on Shopify, it rips to 90.95, and now the push is back down.
Oh, I don't like that.
I'm starting to worry about some of these plays that are under the 50-period moving averages that are such high flyers.
I don't like that chart at all. I own Shopify. And
I know, and so that's what I'm saying. Like, you're now under and trying to break maybe even more. But for the day trade, let me just look at this quickly because I'm not sure why.
Bad.
Must have came out. I don't know why it indicated a thing to me here. 75, 80, 76. There's not much happening on Shopify. It's up 1% today. And again, if you're going to zoom this back out, like, this is a monster move on Shopify today. So I would, again, look for that long on Shopify. Maybe it comes in here 75.90, but I'm not looking long today, so I don't want to confuse that. What was that? There was a top break that we talked about before. Oh, was it Roblox? No, it wasn't Roblox.
Roku? No,
it wasn't Roku. There was something at the top that I was like, ooh, this looks pretty good if we break that.
I already did.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was, but maybe there has to be something there. Is there anything happening in cannabis? Because there was some stuff, 950 for MSOS. Okay, I feel like that's too high. No pun intended, but I feel, okay, no, so 1050, it's not that high, but it's a nice move right now back for MSOS as there's been more talk. I feel like as we get closer, remember last time we had Kamala Harris with the only thing she's ever said, I think, since becoming vice president, and she said it before, and that was that they would work on trying to get something going for the Safe Banking Act and all that. And I know there's things happening right now from Schedule 1 to 3 or the other way around. You know, with an election season coming through, I actually like this long on MSOS. You're above the 50 period. You're working away from some of this. I'm actually going to say, don't get high on your own supply. Just buy some other ones. But if you're looking at something, I like MSOS now against basically 850 and 820 bottom. So I think that those are some good opportunities here on MSOS. Maybe we'll talk about this more on the podcast as well. But this is a nice little long here.
Germany legalized.
Right, I saw that this morning. Yeah, but who cares? So Tilray right now. No, I mean it's nice, but
it ain't
honestly,
America.
No, I mean everyone wants the big account.
Look at me, America.
Like look at Tilray. You know, nice move up, and then look at this, boom, all the way back down again. So these names just continue to get annihilated. I would much rather be an MSOS end of the day. I say that, who cares? Because like, you know, the top of cannabis was the day that Canada legalized. So I'm not going to worry about that. The United States runs basically the world economy. They run everything. And until something happens in the United States, I'm not concerned about marijuana or anything. But, you know, heading into an election year should be talked about. And I think that we could buy MSOS against $8.
Yeah, you just got to watch out. Obviously, the results are going to matter. And then if there's no action after, if there's a Democrat win and there's no action, you got to be able to get out. I do know of a trader who made a great call on an election play one time in a healthcare stock, and you know everything lined up. The healthcare stock ran, and it was, it had to do with Obamacare, and he was dead on. The stock ran, and then went into office, and then nothing happened with the stock after that because they didn't get the contract they were supposed to get, and then it flatlined. But sometimes, if what you got to take the profit on something like that. And I feel like if there is no activity after the election on the marijuana names, and there is no full legalization, you should take whatever profit you get. There's a question in the chat. I've been asked like 3 times if I'm in CELH in my long term yet. The answer is no, but I'm going to throw a question back at you guys. Why should I be in CELH in the long term? I've never really paid attention to Celsius, so you let me know the reason why. I know it was talked about a couple of times in the past, but why should I be in it? I'll give an I don't know, and I don't know why I want to be. Rivian is continuing to consolidate lower. It just wicked the 1030. Did this, made me take some out when there was a big buyer, and now all of a sudden there's resistance at 1030, so I've peeled back. I'm bidding in the teens. Let's see how far I can get into the downside here. The market, as I said, is going a little bit sideways. If anything, might be looking at that meta here, 485, if it can come back in. PayPal's going sideways. As I said with Nicola, it's sort of slowly grinding to the upside here. Look at CLH Google Trends, and you tell me why. I'll check it out at some point, just maybe not right now. But that's fine. I do want to see what you guys are looking at. I saw a couple of names that were out there. OCA was making a good run, and I saw that on one of my scanners as well, like a halt scanner. And then once I pulled it up, it did this, where it pulled back, starting to run out of steam. So you got to be careful with these late day runners. If the volume after a couple of halts, immediately starts drying up, and the biggest candle in volume is the sell, not somewhere I want to buy the dip. Like halt, downward move, and that is the biggest volume candle of the day. I'm going to stay away from that OCEA. But I am looking at my high of the day Momo scanner on Trade Ideas to see if there are any things running.
I'm doing the same thing here. All right.
Alice.
I was just looking, man. We posted this trade when we took it about 2 hours ago. This Affirm trade is really falling down, man. I mean, one of the favorite stocks here, and continues just to be one of those trades. All right. What else we want to look at here? We got out of some Amazon right there. Whatever. Should have probably, I'm still peed off that we didn't take that out at the high there. Let's go back over and look at ARM. All right, so again, like this short's pretty good up there, 136. Out ARM 130. Again, another very positive name out there at 132.70, like $3 and change there for this trade. I'm really, really enjoying trading these days in this market. And, you know, I've actually, I want to, you know, I was talking with Wayne, the manager here before, and he was sort of thanking me for the talk that we had a couple months ago where I said, we got to get traders behind us trading names that are moving around, you know, not just slower moving names. Got to get going on faster names because the market with this earnings season is going to be absolutely insane. And today he had thanked me for that. And I was like, look, I'm so glad that you guys are doing it. We can keep shouting out the success that the floor is having because of that reason. But it's more about being patient with some plays, right? And understanding that some days these names are going to be great and some days they're not. You know, like look at this right here. We're bouncing again off VWAP right here on ARM. Like if you were just shorting these tops and waiting for certain things to happen, then you can make them happen and they will happen for you, but you have to be patient and you have to know what you're looking for. That's the biggest thing, right? Like with this NVIDIA short, now it looks like it's barcoding right now. You see what I mean? Like we could have covered there at 800 break, but we have our plan where VWAP is, and now we're starting to get to the downside. Have a bias. There's only longs here. There's only longs. Only shorts here in NVIDIA. I've been talking about my bias to the short side pretty much for 2 or 3 weeks now. So when you get moves like this, I mean, like I was telling you before, into NVIDIA earnings, we were shorting into $700. Where was it? Right into here at the end of that day. And we just ripped. I guess it was 680 it must have been. Yeah, that's what it was. It was 680. We didn't believe it. We kept shorting it and got killed shorting into the close. But we just believed in the short. And then we took hits and lost. And at the end of the day, you know, you can be right many more times. And there's always tomorrow. So we talked about that on Twitter, and I posted something up, and I was like, no more FOMO, no more nothing. Like, just take the trades and watch it. And there it is right now. This is another Neil, $8 winner right now that we had just put on, you know? So there's $8 for you. I mean, this is like, these are the kind of moves that we're waiting for every day, and this is the market to get them. As a firm continues to bleed. And guys, remember, like, I trade more equity than futures, but remember I was like, I feel, you know, that we should be breaking lower here under VWAP, so I preferred the short, took no longs. So there it is, man. Right now we're almost $1 in a firm. We're 15 cents in Intel. I don't know. Intel's more just candy money for me, like we talked about it. I mean, sure, it's going to be a top stock and it's going to be fine. We're going to go 1 for 1 on Intel. Really clean. A lot of the trades we have today are super clean. Like this Affirm, super clean. Just be patient. Look at this. You know, Mr. Clean on that one. AMD is as clean as it can get. We were buying in front of the 200 period. When it broke, we got out. Profit, loss. Super easy. Amazon today. Again, we wrote down right here on the sticky note, 175, right? Yeah, it was at the top, but 175 break. That came through. We took it. It went up. We got out 30s, 40s. Then it tanked real bad against us. And this is where we tried to average in right here. And unfortunately, once it broke VWAP, we wound up getting out. But we took the long back again, made it back, and then the last piece out right there. So again, pretty easy. That one was off the 200 period. So that's Amazon. ARM, we've already talked about how clean that was. Intel, again, so fresh and so clean. Shout out to Outcast and Big Boy and all them. And then Square today. Square was a little bit tougher. We're going to go, we have one red stock. Square today is going to be a little bit tougher because I missed that. Like we went long early, it went all the way up there. We got out of a 2/3. We were only holding a third. We should have had a tick, maybe not there, but we should have had it here. And we canceled that. Then it fell all the way in, and we just bought bottoms. And that was another clean trade for us. The messiest trade today is really just NVIDIA, and it's easily the most profitable name right here. So like I said to you guys, this is the most profitable, this or Amazon, the most profitable stock that you guys have seen traded here at Trader TV Live in a hell of a long time. So, I mean, NVIDIA today, and we're adding to it right now as it continues to go to the downside. So, yeah, we're getting ready for the podcast, but it's been a hell of a day. And there goes NVIDIA, guys. Hey, Neil, it's a $10 winner right now. It's not a heavy trade, but let's see if NVIDIA wants to bleed into the bottom. 10 more bucks, put it on the board, Chicago White Sox style.
Hawk Harrelson,
right?
The absolute legend. He doesn't call anymore.
He's not with us anymore?
No, he doesn't work for the White Sox anymore. I don't think he's dead.
Well, no, they lost. No, but that Dodgers.
He's not
what
dead.
Was the
No,
famous
you're
Dodgers?
thinking about Vin Scully.
No, I'm thinking of him too. But I thought that
Hawk Harrelson's not dead.
Okay,
he doesn't. He just doesn't call games. I don't think he calls games for the White Sox. I love Hawk Harrelson. He's the biggest homer.
He goes, put it on the board. Yes.
Wayne just sent me something about. I was trying to read. Wayne just sent me something about Amazon that I'm trying to figure out. He's one of the managers there. But I just got along in Maroff 24 as the market came back in. I like the VWAP play. I'm giving it 23.90. Just a bit of an update there. Rivian's still looking okay. I'm going to try and read that. But there was actually a question that I wanted to. Rage TV asked a serious question, and it was, "Did you ever? What the hell just happened to my? Hey, my. They're back. Okay. I don't know what you did, but all my screens went black for a second. Did you ever?
Right, Neil. Nothing ever happens to our screens.
Okay, but I don't always see it. That was like all my screens went black right when Fabian walked behind my.
I saw that. That did happen.
Okay. Did you ever go into depressing times during trading? Like sometimes feels like no matter what you do goes wrong. I'll be honest with you. I have never, I cannot say that is true. Everyone at some point in your life, you've probably dealt with some issues. Sort of maybe whether it's depression, blah, blah, whatever it might be. I guarantee you most people have gone through it. Have I? Absolutely. In life, in trading, not necessarily. Have I gone through slumps? Yes. Everybody that has traded has gone through a slump at some point in their career, or you have not been a trader for very long. So this was actually the topic of the day in the lesson of the day today, and I think it's an important one. The best thing if everything you do feels like is not working, you have got to peel back the noise and you have got to seriously identify what are the actual trades that I am taking. Not just I'm trading NVIDIA today, blah, 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 blah. No, every individual trade is a specific setup and you've got to nail down what are the setups that I am taking and which ones are working and which ones are not. Because if you can't do that, you're never going to get out of the rut. You have to simplify things so that you have a better sense of what is working for you and what kind of a trader you are and what kind of a trader you aren't. Now, otherwise, it can get really frustrating really quickly because everyone's gone through it, whether it's a bad couple of days or a bad couple of weeks. That said, you have to identify who you are. If you're a big-time risk taker as a trader, and you love taking every single shot out there, then you've got to find ways to not take the big hits. If you're the type of trader that doesn't have trouble having tight stops like myself, I'm the other way. I'm always scanning for opportunities. I don't necessarily ever have to worry about not adhering to my stop. That's not my issue. My issue will be, okay, if I see the A+, where's the position to hold? Or if I'm talking myself out of a trade, make sure that I'm finding reasons to get into it because I'm in the other direction. So find out who you are there, Rage, but I feel for you. Everyone's been there at some point. So as I said, the new position for me was Mara. It's holding on to VWAP as we speak. Bitcoin can do its own thing when the market goes down. Meta, I had to adjust the entry on Meta because 485 is in the rear view. So I'm looking at the 484 level. If we're consolidating lower, the futures are under 18,000. Meta to me is still a short. And it's been a short. It was a long early, but it's a short right now for sure. So best of luck out there, Rage.
Yeah, what's up, Rage? Thank you, though. All right. Yeah, I was lucky enough that I went on a run of 12 and a half years, no red months. So that was good. But yeah, it's definitely stressful. Look what's happening now with NVIDIA. 790 just broke. So I just want to show everybody. We had here, this was a short 820, right? We covered it at 806. That's $14. Then we broke the short here at 800. We got some cover there at 96, so $4. Then we got this print down there, 86. That's 14. So if you're just going to add this up, that's like $40. Then we just went back and forth there. I'm going to call that nothing. Same thing here. We probably wound up making money there. And then so that's $40, probably more. Then we go short there. So that's another $3.43. Then that's $7.96 right there. That's another 8. And then right now we're in the money 12. So, you know, this is what I'm talking about when we talk about trading and trying to wait to see and making calls, right? It's like, we talked about this earlier. The best traders of all time, they're not, like, I actually saw an article about this. You remember traders for their big trades. You know, that's what they're remembered for. Like Michael Burry is going to always be forever remembered, not for, you know, the small cuts that he claims to have had on Tesla or the fact that he short SockSell into this. You know, his claim to fame is always going to be the housing crash. You know, you have big calls from Bill Ackman and all that kind of stuff with respect to Herbalife and all that, right? Like this is I just equate that to day trading as well. It's, you know, you're going to have the much bigger days and you're also gonna have big hits when you're wrong, you know, but it's like these are the days that you're hoping can make up for anything that's happened in the past. And like I was saying before, that's what's really helped this floor is maximum gains with big days. You know, that's the key. It's not coming from me, it's coming from the guys over there. You know, big trades. Like for example, you could have one day where you'll make 10 G's and end the month at 8 G's. It's still a great month, still a fantastic month, right? But you didn't lose. Maybe you did and you made it back, but you didn't lose that 10 G's.
That's the key. Like
right.
What is, if your big day is a 10G day, you can't have a $20,000 losing day if your best winning day is a $10,000 day.
But
that's the key.
It's also about number of days, right? It's like, it's so hard to be green every day, let alone, there's a reason why 98%, probably higher, of everybody watching are losing traders. And the stat is true here as well. It's not like, you know, we're turning out amazing traders. You have to put in the work and the time. And so for me to you guys telling you what's been working around here is bigger share sizes, holding for bigger moves, right? And capitalizing on those days. And then, like Neil said, adhering to your shutdowns when you're wrong, right? Like that's the key. And I feel like as long as you're consistently thinking like that and you're learning every single day, you'll have much bigger winners. And I mean, this is exactly, and we'll talk about this when Obi's on next, this is exactly what's changed for him and made him so much better, is exactly what we just said right there. So anyways, keep it going. We're gonna be at the highest spot all day. I'm just wondering about this NVIDIA, and I just tweeted out, why don't we just hold this to the close? But what if there's a buy imbalance? You know, what if this market comes all the way back up? So I'm gonna take this out. I can't believe I'm saying this for a $5 winner. If it breaks back above this 796.50, that's the 50-period moving average. I don't even have a stop order in now for NVIDIA, but I'm gonna put one in now. I just feel like we've already held this for a big winner, so let's just put it in. And then, you know, if it continues to go down, fine. It's not a huge piece, but I'm learning more and more every day to try to wait for these plays and not just preach what I think the strategy is, but also do it live, right? So I feel like you guys have seen that, and that's what we're doing. So thank you so much, Elon, and all that. You know, that's just.
Yeah, Elon, it's dead on. Lose small, win big. It's that simple. Like, it doesn't. I'm of the model that that's the only thing that matters. Everything else is just noise.
Yep.
Like, it's that's it. It doesn't matter what your style. I could care less what your style is. One of my biggest pet peeves in trading is, in the 20 years that I've been doing this, the people that will say, well, if you trade penny stocks, you're not a real trader. If you trade futures, you're not a real trader. If you trade small cap stocks, you're not a real trader. If you trade GameStop, you're not a real trader. Or real traders trade the Qs. No, real traders just care about making money. Real poker players don't care whether they play Omaha or Raz. I'm just making up that's not making up, they're just picking something random that nobody plays. It's whether are they profitable doing it, right? Like, if
Bro, what do you say about Raz, bro? What do you say about Raz?
No, Raz is a fun game. I actually like some of those. I like some of those alternate games, but at the same time, it doesn't matter. So just make sure whatever style you do, you can be a Forex trader. I don't care. I've never done it. But you can be a Forex trader, a crypto trader. As long as you adhere to controlling the losses relative to wins, I think you'll be okay in your style. I did get into meta, by the way, while this was going on, off that 484 this time. So I tried getting rid of these wicks to tighten things up a little bit. It's got a $4 range in here. So if it plays inside of the range, we might get a buy imbalance. The thing that would, I guess, it's not scare me. Like, when you think about what the market's been doing up here underneath that 18,000 and having a big week, I actually would not be surprised if we have a decent size imbalance today.
Yeah.
So, like, the back of my mind's thinking we could have one of those billion imbalance. So when we get the early look, I'm not going to be shocked by a big imbalance. So I do not want to be trying to layer in against anything. If it comes out gigantic one way or the other, I'll be doing zero fighting of the direction of the imbalance today. It just feels like this could be a Friday where you see a little bit of something. And there was some index, like, Amazon going into the Dow, and was a WBA coming out of it. Like,
when does that happen?
See, I don't know when the effect. There could be some reweights this week. Wayne was sending me something that we might see something today.
Completely forgot about that.
So, like, just if you see an Amazon imbalance, you kind of should know why. And that goes for what did I say? What, Walgreens?
But also Walmart, because
the split.
The split is going to affect weightings. We are going to talk about that on the podcast, where we have why Amazon is in and why Walgreens is out. It has to do with retail weightings, of course, and the fact that Walmart today, as of today, will go 3-to-1. So let me just call up Walmart stock. It's my bad. I'm not in Walmart. I've never been in Walmart, but I meant to buy some Walmart.
I'm in it.
Yeah, I don't like retail. I mean, I'm in Amazon, so I know I'm in retail.
You don't need both.
But I just always chose Costco. But the thing is like this, I really like this 170 break. Actually, Brendan and I talked about this last week. Where is he? There he is. And I asked him, what does he prefer, Home Depot or Walmart? And I was liking Walmart through this break. And then we talked about the split as well. And we talked about that being a dividend aristocrat, always raising dividends. So does Home Depot. But let me just check on the Home Depot chart as well. There isn't a wrong answer. It was just like, hey, what do you like better? And look at Home Depot. It's the same thing, man. It's starting to go. But you see how the chart is just like steady climbing, like sure, dips, climb, break. I think Walmart, with the news of the split, is a little more attractive to me than a Home Depot. But, Costco, I mean, you want to talk about another split candidate, this is at all-time highs. Although I feel like 800 was a number. No, it wasn't. Okay. Look at this. Like, you want to talk about steady Eddie here. Like, 6 bills back on Christmas, up to 740. Merry Christmas right now. I love Costco. I mean, we shop there for free because we spend so much money there. But it is a good one. We like the paper towels.
I have a gun to your head question.
Yeah.
Well, it's not gun to your head.
I'm down for these questions.
No, it's a rapid fire. First thing that comes to mind. Next stock to split.
I thought SMCI. I thought there was going to be something on that earnings, but honestly, NVIDIA.
Okay, yeah. I thought Broadcom.
Yes. But the thing is, we had that Melly yesterday was 1,800.
Chipotle should have done it 1,000 times.
Chipotle is like
already.
2,500.
Don't even get me started with Chipotle.
You know what though? I wonder what the advantage of splitting really is nowadays.
Options.
That's the
Get in
only.
the look.
that's
If
the only
options are absolutely exploding in terms of retail trade, I know we're going to get to the ad read in a second. If options are exploding for retail trade,
a good one, yeah.
then it used to be who cares if you do a reverse split? It doesn't make a difference. And now you can buy fractional shares, so really who cares? But it's all about options. It just makes it a little bit less expensive if you get shares assigned to you, all that kind of good stuff. So anyways, I think there is a logic to it. I just scalped some out in front of the 43 on Meta. I'm looking for a reload off of 44, but there's a test of 18,000 happening. Let's go to handle some business.
Want to follow professional traders as they take on futures, options, ETFs, stocks, and more? Join Simpler Central today for just $1 and get a 60-day membership.
Yeah, we were just talking about that. It's like, you know,
I've never eaten a
the
Chipotle.
minute you're trying, you've never had Chipotle?
Isn't that
I
weird?
don't have it.
Isn't that weird?
Hey, Stream Deck is down? Oh no.
Oh, I'm good. I
It's
won't try
okay.
it. Whoa.
Nah, it doesn't matter. I was gonna hit fail. I haven't had Chipotle in forever, but I get the salad. Is it the salad? There's a salad.
They do like bowls and stuff.
Yeah, they do bowls, but I get the salad instead of all the rice and everything. But I like. Wow, Neil, I haven't had Chipotle. Eh? I mean, in the U.S.
No, I will fully admit that that's weird. Like, there's a lot of things that I haven't
weird.
done. There's a lot of things that I haven't done. As I noticed my mic wasn't even that fixed. RAM seems not to care about that. But yeah, there's a lot of things I haven't done that I feel like are a little
Your
bit
mic
weird.
is not fixed?
No, it was like I can see it
just reminded
sagging sometimes on this like thin shirt because it gets too hot around here.
Oh my God.
So a couple of things. I did reload Meta in here. It's starting to come back up, and PayPal's finally waking up a little bit here. I'm offering in front of 30s because it's 325. Like, this has gone absolutely sideways, so I'm throwing an offer to try and grab some out here at 28, and I'll put another one in the 30s as well. Just once. Again, something could happen, but nothing is really happening in the stock. It's strong, but it's essentially barcoding here, so I'm trying to get some out. Darwin, Neil hasn't had a hurricane drink live on the show yet. That is 100% true.
Send them.
But let's be one of our boys got, well, obviously he got married, but his bachelor party from high school was in New Orleans. And it was absolutely epic, so you better believe we've done Bourbon Street, and I have had a hurricane or two that night. They're delicious. That's all I will say.
Yeah, those hurricanes had
That was a good
that had us feeling some
trip.
kind of way.
That was a good trip.
That's on Bourbon Street, right?
That was a great trip. That was
yeah, well, I mean, at that age, we're all 22 years old or something. Okay, look at this, man. $15 now in the money. $15 in the money. It's still going.
It's
And
over.
we called this.
It's over.
We called this. So, yeah, we're pretty happy with it. I was just just as we went over to Adara, I was like, I'm adjusting my stop. Well, how far are we going to go here, guys?
Closing auction.
This is like $50 on NVIDIA today. I mean, wow, today will be a good weekend, man. This will be a good weekend regardless of this, but I might see my parents tonight. They might come to my, so I got to do the podcast and then got to hustle home. I told Brendan, we may have the shortest podcast, but we probably won't because I'm on it and talking is something. But I promised Ramin, she's got a date, so I got to get her out of here. I got to go to my kid's game. So
You better be up to snuff, Ramin.
I already have a pack. Yeah, there we go. That was Neil with his Hurricanes. We got to. I got to get to a hockey game tonight. My
always
daughter
have to get to a
played-
hockey game. That's not
I know, it's nothing new. That's what I'm saying. And I said to my wife, finally we'll take a vacation, probably when it's all done, maybe late March, something like that, early April. So that's probably the next time you won't see me. So
Your
congratulations.
next vacation, I'm going to already call it. Your next time vacation is going to be a baseball tournament in.
Ooh, well, that's not a vacation.
I don't know. I was going to pick a random city in Ontario.
Well, we've been to Ancaster.
Yeah, I was going to say there's something of places we used to play, but that's what it's all about here. Just a bit of housekeeping to remind everybody.
It's not me and Ram on a date. Slow down.
Yeah, but we just got to
Although,
make sure
Ramin, come on.
whomever it is, better be up to standard, Ram. But There's no taping
the
of the.
standard
No,
anyway?
hold on a second. There's no taping of the after show. There's no after show today because no recap show because the podcast is being taped. Always want to remind everybody that when the podcast does get taped, you do not have a recap show. That said, there's plenty of things that you can look at. You can go back and learn a little bit about learn to trade. There's like every single day this week. There's lessons. There's a lesson a day you can watch. You can recap and go watch the action of Wednesday. There's plenty of things that you can go back and look at and find it on our channel. And shout out to everybody that is throwing out the names that are absolutely failing. I didn't realize Enphase is dying and SMCI is also failing to the downside. The shorts are winning today. We're going to get the early look on the imbalances. Just to remind everybody, I am half anticipating we're going to see a decent size imbalance. And don't be shocked if you see Amazon with a large number. We're kind of expecting that it could be, in addition to Walgreens and GE Healthcare for all the people that don't care about that stock. I'm just in Meta. Rivian's kind of doing its thing, 10 cents in the money. Meta's about $1 in the money. I've scalped it twice, looking for a break of the low of the day. And bye-bye to, I think I'm finally out of Nikola. So Nikola, last move got to 76.5, but I said if it can't hold 74, I'm done with it. I had the 74 long to 76 and the 75 long to 76.5. I just got under 74. I'm done with that stock. It wasn't moving enough. I think it had room, but it does just because it has room to go doesn't mean it's going to fill in the gap.
All right. So I feel like you guys know what I'm going to say here. And I've sort of coined this. I know Adair's taking this to heart, which is great. I feel like we said like a scared trader is not really a confident trader and is severely flawed. But I'm pretty scared right now because I don't know. Like, do we just take this profit? I'm holding such a nice win here, $15 again. I thought we were doing something special earlier when we had this win. Now it kind of feels like common space. So we got out basically at this level before. Are we being silly? Like you guys tell, I mean, you want to ride with me? This is like playing poker, like where you show someone your cards because they're out and they're just riding with you. Like, what do you guys think? Because this is getting into a level here where we had some garbage there, we got it out of there, and then we ripped back up like $20 all the way to the top where we just sat there open-handed and took it. Now, NVIDIA, and shout out to T-Money and everybody out there that's talking because and they're saying how fun it is to watch all this kind of stuff. I mean, it's fun, sure, but at the same time, we're talking about real money here. And I was just thinking about maybe, honestly, guys, what about if we take 789 back and we just get out on this kind of a ledge break back up? If we break it down, then I think we can get a 780 down there. I just worry. What is that number? Did Adair give it to us?
260, I thought.
No, 369.
369.
Okay, so it's a buy. What do we want to do? Yeah, Tesla's drowning. Okay, I mean, the whole market, we already called this move down on the market. I mean, we're $1 in the money on a firm. Look at the damage. Look at the damage. I forgot to even talk about this because I'm so obsessed with NVIDIA. We're also putting Intel into the top stock list today. And it's a one trade clean on Intel. You know what? Let's get out of Intel because I want to, or at least a piece of it. We punched some 97s there. Oh, you guys aren't, sorry, changing this chart still. We'll punch some 97s there because of this. So I'd rather hold and ride with NVIDIA than Intel. I know Intel's weaker than NVIDIA. Is it? What is NVIDIA down today now? Nothing yet. It's not even red. So the reason why I mean it's about weaker is like that's a decent move already for Intel. I mean, it's kind of hard to get 50 cents there.
It just went 1% from the top.
Yeah, so
that's like $8.
Yeah.
40 cents is $8.
Right.
Relatively speaking.
I mean, we have a fort. Yeah. All right, 790. You guys do what you want. I'm canceling this. I'm going to get the stop if this breaks 790. Otherwise, we ride, okay? 790 and a quarter. That's what we're doing. If it breaks higher, it breaks higher. That's that. The last thing we need is some wise guy to come in to come in and buy this up at the end of the day, because honestly, NVIDIA still has
Wise guy?
You still have a lot more room to go.
Can it just be anybody? It has to be a wise
It has
guy?
to be a wise guy, yeah, because if you're going against me, you got
Joe Pesci.
Yeah, so. All right, let's go over to Adara and see what she's up to.
Let's talk about some of the names that made big moves today within the S&P 500 that maybe we didn't get to earlier, because there are quite a few interesting ones here. We do have Albemarle up about 1% and a bit here, announcing a quarterly dividend of 40 cents per share. ALB very much to the upside here today. We also have Warner Brothers, WBD, down about 10% after an earnings miss across the board and some concerns regarding their ad revenue decreases. Last but not least here, PANW, Palo Alto Networks, PANW, sorry. This one set to present at an upcoming investor event coming up in early March. Also possibly a rebound from some of that weakness immediately after its earnings. That earnings reaction on Wednesday being quite steep. PANW up about 4.5%, guys.
Go Pan W is all I got to say.
Yeah.
I will be happy. Look, I'll be happy when that stock, it's up 5%. You get to move like 5%. As a day trade, you're probably happy with it. But in the long term, get it back to like 300, 350. Then I'll be convinced. I'm not going to ring the register on it, but then I'll be convinced that it's out of the water after the response to earnings that they got there. So it is what it is. I'm loving PanW today. I don't see myself trading it. We're going to stick with what we have. It was a small imbalance. The early look was a small imbalance, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. It could still come out a lot bigger than that. Rivian, I'm going to hold for the low of the day at this point. Like the flat bottom break was good. The reload I do not need to have out there anymore, but going to look for the low of the day on that one. PayPal is very gently moving higher, but with the market looking weak, it's not going. So I'm actually just going to get back on the offer at the exact same price. It's not moving right now. So if it's not going, yeah, I tried to bounce. I like that higher low. It basically held it and then started working higher, but where's the high of the day? Not going anywhere because the market's too weak for it to hit the high of the day. Like it's not going, so I just forget about it. We'll just hang on to the two shorts we have. If I get a reload in Meta, it's got to be very tight to 484. The last time it gave a pop over, got to about the quarter and came back under and actually got 04s, 84.04. So that's what I want to do is try to work back into that one. It's a very tight range on Meta. It's a weak stock. But we'll see what happens here because we got about 15 minutes of the imbalances. That OCEA, for everybody that was watching it, I guess I was kind of wrong about this one. I felt like the volume was tapering off, but it held that halt price really well and ended up breaking out. So if you happen to have it, good luck to you. Remember, it's a weekend here, so holding these small cap runners over the weekend, no one ever went broke taking profit. That's my modus operandi, especially over a weekend. You want to sweat that one out on a swing, or do you want to take your profit? You're probably in the money 50% if you took this trade. So congratulations to you. Again, these things can get a little bit dicey. What goes up must come down.
Yeah, what goes down must also go up. Watch out here. NVIDIA breaking back above 790 in a second. This will be our out. It looks like that bottom was, again, 786. In what was the most beat up name today, not most beat up name, but Rivian, downside pretty nastily. Look what's happening to Fisker right here. Shout out to Adara if you have anything on Fisker. FSR, monster move into the end of the day. So I don't know. Let me find out. I know the short float on this is pretty disgusting.
40-something%.
Right. So that's
which is nuts.
Oh, you already know it. Okay. Well, I'm looking it up anyways. But yeah, good call there by Neil. Yeah, that's FCGD. What? All right.
First Columbia. You don't know about them?
Yeah, I do. No, I don't. All right.
I have no idea.
FSR. There it is. Yeah, 50. So big short float there, man. 49, 50%. So nice move up there for Fisker. We'll find out if there's any news on this one, but it does look like it's really picking up steam. Remember the other day was yesterday, was it? Where we traded FaZe Clan on that move, and we got in at 21 cents yesterday, and then out at 22.5, then out at 27. This is a daily chart, so that's wrong. It's right here. In there, yes, looks the same. In there yesterday, and then out on the way back in. And this is kind of goes to the point that Neil was saying. When you have news about names moving around, and you may not want to hold it the next day. because phase, we were in at 21 yesterday, out at 27, and you can see today you're down that 14%. And there she goes, ladies and gentlemen. We will wind up with an $11 winner. Was it more than that? 1167 right there. So we will end that trade on NVIDIA right there at 790. 12 more bucks, end it into the close. We'll just do it with one of these because we've been really bearish today on this name, and it's a good one, man. It's a really good one. So there it is. Happy with the trade. Whew. Now we got to like regroup a little bit here, and that's that. So thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for again the kind words about the channel, and shout out to Ramin over there, and Fabian and Brendo, and the whole team. And we keep on going back over that all the time. So our new channel, more Trader TV Live. Go check that out. That's the newest thing we're working on, and then. Oh man, I woke up with a headache and it's like, ugh.
I have some ideas.
Yeah. Remember, I can go over the pills that I have.
No, I know you're like a pharmacy over there.
Yeah. Well, no, I only have
all legal stuff.
But it's all legal stuff that I show on the show.
Of course.
What's up to Zeus and everything like that, man? Thank you so much, Patrick, for all that. I think it was nice work on NVIDIA. I mean, we kept holding for that dream. We talked about having a stop. And I say this all the time on the market recap show, and it's echoed by Neil and all of us, is like, if you don't trade, and we've gone back and forth with having hard stops and not have hard stops. And so if you're looking at a stock and you're really seeing it starting to ramp up, then yeah, maybe you don't need a hard stop and you're disciplined enough just to punch out. The hard stop gives me an opportunity to look at other names as well, and then put in a level that I like. Therefore, when it breaks, I'm not sitting here second guessing like, oh, do I want to get out at 790? Like the trade just triggers out, and that's that. And then me and Neil will go back over to the stock, see if it was a bad wick, see if we still like it. Maybe we have
always get back in.
Yeah, we have a different
Speaking of
opinion. Yeah, so let's go.
I just had a hard stop on Meta. So Meta you know what? It actually just held, which is weird. You were just talking about it. Like, I just got a hard stop at Meta the third time I went into this trade, and it wicked me out. So I had my stop at the local high. It broke the local high. I'm out of it. I doubt I get back in because it's 340. But I wanted to address something in the chat here from Brendan Moses, saying, I contacted Real Trading and never heard anything from weeks ago and even this week. Do me a favor, Brendan. Can you just DM one of us if you can? That doesn't make any sense to me. Like, if you go to the website, you should get a response. I just want to make sure that you're contacting the right spot. That's all. So just let us know. Whether you want to become like a trader, if you want to be on this floor, obviously you've got to be in Toronto, Canada, because that's where we are. But there are offices like all over the world. There isn't guaranteed to be a trading floor where you might be located. Can't promise that, but they are all over the place, just not in the U.S. But yeah, just let me know what happened there. I don't want to hear that. I just want to make sure you're emailing the right place. So with 8 minutes to go,
first of all, are you in the United States?
Well, that's what I don't want to make the assumption.
Don't message us if you're in the United States.
Oh, if you're in the United States, Real Trading does not operate in the United States. I think we've said that a few times, but I'm just going to make the assumption that you aren't, and if you aren't, then I feel like you should have got a response. There's no guarantee there would have been an opportunity to trade in a floor that might not exist in your city, but I only have 2 positions left. I'm not going to take anything new until at least 350 to see what the imbalances do.
Was it what was the guy's name? Not Hold My Beer. It wasn't Hold My Beer.
No, it was Moses.
You can live with me, none ya biz. I mean, I charge a relatively cheap rent. We've got an axolotl.
Brendan Moses was.
Brendan Moses. What's up, Brendan Moses? We got an axolotl. We've got a cat, a dog, and that's about it. So if you're allergic to any of those, well, you don't have to worry about the axolotl. He just pure chills. All right, and I have a story to talk about fake accounts, and I'm going to do that when we get back from Madeira.
Brought to you by IG.com. Trade Forex pairs like Euro USD with spreads as low as 0.8 pips and 0 commissions at IG. Terms and conditions apply.
So just someone's messaged me, and it was this afternoon, and basically they just saying that, I mean, I'll read it. I'll just read it out. I won't say the individual's name. I told them I would not. I think they're watching right now. So he said, hey, Shaw, there's a guy on here, and he's talking about Twitter, with your image, closer name. He's contacted me, he's chatting me up, he's really nice. He's talking about how the trading is going. He's telling me how good my trading is going, so he believes it's me. But then he says, but then he tried to let him trade Bitcoin. And the thing is as he's a super friendly guy. He keeps asking me about Bitcoin, this and that, this and that. He then found out that in my name, and this is where I'll show you, you know, what I always talk about this, often imitated, never, ever, ever, ever duplicated. This is at Trader TV Sean. There's a period or something at the end of the one. And I keep on reporting them. They're really good about it on Twitter. They're horrible about it on Instagram. So I just want to give everybody that update. It's at Trader TV Sean everywhere. So that's what it is. And I just want to give everybody that idea. Thank you for all the support on Instagram. But again, this is my Instagram, 7,000 followers. Please go over there and hit it up, man. I got to adjust this. It's more than 21 years now. But again, it's the same name, at Trader TV Sean. So I just wanted to do a little bit of housekeeping there. Those are what it is. Nobody ever from the show will be contacting you guys for money or anything like that. So that's not what it's about. If you want to super chat, great, things like that. But as far as Bitcoin trading or any of this crap that these guys try to sell to you, that is not the case. So just be careful, be diligent. It's up to you. And, you know, do not, I feel silly sometimes telling this to you guys because you know that this stuff happens. What's up, Yannick, in the background there? Just be careful, be diligent, and be smart about it. There are so many imposters out there, like we keep saying.
Yeah,
you
can't really say it enough because, like, I'll tell you right now, like, nobody here wants to see anybody get scammed. You know, and quite frankly, we hate it. So you guys know what's good, and make sure you just make sure you report it to the best of your ability.
Yeah, that's it.
You know, just report it when you see it, and make sure everybody in the community stays cool. My mic is weeping. Oscar plays. I have no idea. Yeah, and look, if you see any of the Talon said you've had imposters with the dots and all that stuff follow, you know, just give them the boot. That's what you do. Let the nonsense just go to the wayside, which is what happens. Speaking of nonsense, the nonsense that is Rivian is down 11% today and continuing to flush. We could see $10 it's a hat size. I haven't used this term in a while. Rivian's going to turn into a hat size if it breaks these lows next week. So I'm getting out in front of the low of the day, which is 1010. I'm going to cover before 345 through 350 here. But yeah, this gets underneath that $10 level. At some point, you can say all you want, but they might not, like this might not bounce until you get that. I think it's March 7th when they're coming out with the new form. So March 7th, mark it down. Maybe it can survive till then. But it's been a bleed on this since earnings. And when you don't make a bounce after earnings, if you don't find a defined bottom, it had a chance to do it today. There it is. I just got out in front of that low. You didn't make a bottom yesterday. A little bit that held, but no double bottom. Until after earnings, can a level hold more than one day in a row if it's trending down? Once you see that, it's a little bit safer to start thinking about anything but scalp bounce plays as a day trader. It's just a short till it's not at this point. Lucid not doing that much better either. And that Fisker, there's so many of these. I mean, what are you going to do? Yeah,
Fisker apparently is getting some Reddit love, so you can watch out for Fisker. Look, I mean, was this not a good idea for Intel? We talked about going over there and getting out of it. I mean, we now have less than 10% left of that one. What's up, Abe?
Just a late day mover here, pretty volatile to keep an eye on here. Zyversa, ZVSA. Yesterday, this one published a white paper basically highlighting some data with regards to neurological disease progression. Also just announced earlier today that the CEO will be speaking at a biotech investor conference on Monday. Big thing to note here, though, is that this one does have a really small float. 1.6 million shares, 12.6% of that is going to be short float. So the float might be the main story here, but ZVSA trying to get a run at the end of the day here, guys.
ZVSA. Every time I see that, I just think of the NASDAQ test stock.
Yeah,
ZVZZT.
Does that still exist?
It does. We
have a huge runner here, by the way.
Have some fun with that. What is
TBIO is going insane
I know that stock.
Right now. So Telesis Bio. Again, a monster mover here into the end of the day. TBIO on one right now. No short float is what I'm seeing, but it doesn't mean that there isn't one. TBIO right now going ham. But you smart traders will know that if it goes up to $1, you have to watch out for that. So we'll watch out for the dollar break. It's been there before. TBIO starting to go a little crazy right now. And that is Telesis Bio. Again, you know, I'm here, well, you know, looking at this. We do have Benzinga newsfeed. I'm not seeing anything on it. I just saw the spike there, and it's TBIO right now starting to go nuts. So there it goes, up to 80 and pulling back. So watch out there. Glad we brought that to your attention. Trade that at your own risk at this time of day. With only a couple seconds left until there are market on close and balances, we'll get rid of all this. We just want to see the NASDAQ and New York come through right here very soon. So that's what's going to hit. It's going to hit pretty soon. So get ready for this. In just 30 seconds, we should see some movement. I'm getting out of Intel if we break above 10s there. This is a fantastic, this is 5 cents worth of risk to make 50, I think it was there from top to bottom. 35's out, 95's 40. We talked about our stop when we came live on the show. There was 45's or 41's or something like that. So that's pretty good risk to reward right there. And then honestly, a firm, I mean, I thought we were doing pretty good getting out. Whoops, oh no. There we go, move that over. Getting out at 37 there on a firm. Oh no, what have I done? There it is right now. Hey, we're out. Look at a firm. A firm's really puking. This is that level that we had on a firm. 37.60, so $1 on, well, it was more than $1 down there at the bottom. All right, what's moving around? Adara will give us this number in a minute. All right, Ford buy.
3.1 to buy.
There's Walmart. So here's the one that I think we all had questions about. What was Walmart going to do into the close today? So we'll wait to see what exactly the answer to that question is right now. Walmart into the close. Looks like a decent level, but 1 million.
I actually thought Amazon might be bigger. It's $1 million imbalance, and then paired already 7.6. Go back to Sean's screen for that. 7.6 million paired off already on Amazon. So yes, $1 million's big, but they've paired off most of that volume.
Walmart. There goes Amazon just got paired off more.
I'd say nothing burger on those.
What is the number? 3.1 billion to buy.
It's huge. So I'm now out. Thank you very much, PayPal. Eventually got to the high of the day. Got to take what you can get there. It took a while to get to the top, but eventually, like right there as the imbalances are dropping, this thing spikes right up into the highs of the day. So you get a little bit lucky to be in the long, and then Rivian from 10.40 down to 10.10. The stock continues to absolutely bleed. We're done. Not going to take any new positions on there. Let's eat some Vegemite. Sebastian, it's been a good day. It hasn't been that good. I'm not eating any Vegemite today. You need to have some, there's got to be something to put it on. Like, I'm not just, I said I would spoon it if I lost a bet, but that's if I lost a bet. Like, you got to eat something with that stuff, man. It's nasty. But one of these days, we'll figure out a good bet, and then I will
only have some of that in the morning, because honestly, the recap show, if my stomach's upset, it won't be.
You're not getting sick from this stuff.
Yes.
No, you're not. No, it's fine.
All right, we got out of a firm there. Man, that smell, you know those smelling
No, it
salts?
doesn't really smell that good.
No, it smells disgusting. What do you mean it doesn't smell that good? It's like those, like if you get knocked out, you know, then that's what you want to wake you up. So shout out to that.
Smelling salts.
Smelling salts, yeah, exactly. I think that's what that smells like a lot. I've never had smelling salts, so I don't know, but I feel like that's what it would smell like. All right, we're done. I don't really have too much else to talk about, which is a surprise, because I'm going to go talk for another hour and a half coming up on the podcast. But make sure that you go well an hour. We're going to do a little bit lighter. We try to do an hour. I got some questions I want to ask the big guy over there. So that should be a lot of fun today. Join us for the podcast. I feel like we did good. So we'll pat ourselves on the back a little bit for NVIDIA today, man. It's bringing home the bacon and in a large way. So we did good to get out there at 790. I mean, look, that's a good out, and you know, we really stuck with our rules. We got out, we looked, we thought this could fall in. We definitely held it for that move. Honestly, I don't have one problem at all with this trade. So the only problem I had was maybe missing that bottom, but it was kind of the same logic again. You know, just let it keep on falling back in and then get out when we break higher. So again, good trading there on NVIDIA, and hopefully a great start to what's going to be a great weekend. You found Weed Batman? Finally, Weed Batman.
It's back.
That's been my favorite
It's
thing
back.
forever. So
It's about time,
Weed
really.
Batman is back in the building. So now I will successfully be trading more Tilray and more all of that because we have
Will you, though?
the graphics. And by the way,
CGC.
the graphics were, and that goes back to like Jim Cramer, right? That's why, like when we first started this, I was like, I want this key. You know, we wanted to get something like that, bulls and bears and all that kind of stuff. So that Weed Batman is really special. We'll see if we can get some more reactions to that when we start trading some weed stocks, hopefully as they get a little more
CGC's
exciting.
moving a little bit.
Yeah, I talked about that MSOS. I mean, I like
bit.
all those names, man.
I mean, it's not going crazy. JJ, if you're taking off already, have a great weekend as well. Appreciate you. But make your weekend a little bit better by whether it's tomorrow morning, if that's your thing, or Sunday night, if that's your thing, or Monday morning on your commute in.
Yeah.
Make sure you check out the podcast. Everyone has their own routine, right? Like
check
how
it out.
do you prepare for the week? Maybe you'll talk about. You're not going to talk about weed. Maybe you'll talk about some cannabis. I have no idea, but we'll find out over the weekend. It's just because you were just talking about cannabis that I just said that. I actually didn't really even think
And even
about
if you don't want to listen to the podcast, just push play and let it go.
Where's my...
What was that one?
Hey, how come I don't have any... Oh, it doesn't matter.
What was
Can
that
you-
one? Yeah, the flosses? Yeah.
Oh, I'm bald in that?
I have a floss t-shirt.
I'm bald as... Okay. That was during COVID because I have no hair in that. That's
Where did you
the
guys
best
find
one.
them? I have so many other ones.
That is the best
old
one because it's Brendan.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. All right, 355. Fisker, you know, Fisker's 40,000. 40,000. Has been doing a lot of shares. It's 56 million shares today for Fisker, and
That's
a lot of
a lot.
that just starting right now. So watch
And you're
out.
saying it's just Wall Street bets thing?
I have no idea. People were just, I mean, it's a 50% short float. It makes sense that people want to try to run that up. I mean, that's been a good cause. We talked about meme stocks possibly coming back at some point. We'll see if that's true. So right there it is, into the close. Ford, Walmart. I mean, I think Walmart's the one to watch. Like,
Yeah,
there's a big move, like right there. Also, Apple. So Apple never broke. Remember, we were going to get that short, and Apple never broke, so we don't have to worry about it. Fisker, FIS, that's not Fisker. FinServe, that is. Nike, again,
Walmart's running.
Another reason to watch the podcast, man. We talked about buying Nike at $100. That was a trade there. Adobe as well. But yeah, what else was running? Oh, there's
Walmart.
You're out already, but Rivian with a sell into 10. I mean, wow. All
Is
right.
Rivian a buy at this price?
No.
It's like I've said this multiple times. To me, it is a shot play like a penny stock. Like I treat it like a shot. No different from like Tellurian. I took a Tellurian shot at $1, was giving it to like 75 cents, and it got to $2. Was fortunate with that. Like Rivian's that kind of a thing, man. If they have another couple bad quarters, probably you got to get rid of it. You're still in one position. I'm flat. I have no orders.
Oh, well,
canceling
Intel's
everything.
not breaking.
In here, will not be taking anything. But Walmart did just have a bit of a spike. Like it went like 50, 60 cents to the upside. It's like Walmart or Amazon or WBA is what you'd be looking for. But it's only 1.4 million to buy with 4.3 million paired off. It's still a significant number because it's done 9 million shares on the day. So it's a decent number, but that's starting to pair off a little bit on Walmart. So might be watching it. I'm just not sure there's going to be a trade there. And you have to decide what kind of an investment are you making. Like there are stocks that I will buy and I will never sell, and there are things that I will have an out. Like every time I've been in Alibaba, I've had an out. 3 times. I'm 0 for 2 on that. So maybe I'll go 0 for 1 in Rivian. We'll see. But I'm willing to give it to 50% loss when I'm looking for a double up, minimum double up. Like I wasn't covering it when it went like 40% in the money. I could care less. I'm like, that thing's doubling or I don't care.
Yeah, right. So you got to think about it like that, right? And that's why when someone asks it, is it a buy? It's like a hard no. It's just if you know, like Neil said, what your plan is.
Pan W is a buy off 200 period. That's Palo Alto. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, like Apple. You get like an Apple's of the world off the 200 period moving average. Like you get the Microsofts of the world, like the things that are a little bit more secure. Those are very, very different. And to each your own. I understand some people are going to give me a long explanation as to why Rivian is a great company. I'm not that kind of an expert. I just think there is somebody that's going to come out a winner, and one of them is going to do like a 3 to 5x move in the next couple of years, and I would take a shot at one. I have Intel on my personal account. I think that's actually more of a shot play. I think there's safer plays in the space. However, they're trying to go after TSM's foundry business, which could take years. They're way behind technology-wise compared to AMD and NVIDIA, but if you want to get the foundry play on board in the US and not rely on chip supply, which is vastly too far away from the country and political risk out there, then Intel is probably your play, and the government's behind them. So I like that. But their core business is still in trouble. 1 minute to go to end this week. The market is having I'll say like a mixed day because ES is up and the NASDAQ is down. The chips have been giving back, SMCI and their offering, and NVIDIA have been bleeding. Although NVIDIA is still up 0.5%. Shows you the power of the gap up. It's not really up 5%. I hate that term. It's not really up 5%.
NVIDIA?
Look, man, NVIDIA's down 2.3% from the open.
Oh, wow.
So it's up from the previous close, but it is down 2.3% from the open. I always have that column up, so I have a better idea of, on my quote board here, like what's actually happening on the day. Like it's not up. To me, this is a weak stock that's down 2.2% because this is from the previous open, from today's open. And sometimes it's a better gauge of how the stock is trading. But enough about that. Let's get over to Adara. We've got to get the countdown going on what has been a wild holiday shortened week. So let's get it going. The market is about to close in 5, 4, 3, 2, and that went fast. Walmart that went the other way on Walmart. I thought,
did it?
Yeah, Walmart spiked. It actually closed at the low end of the range here. See, it ended up pairing off on Walmart, and looks like it came right back in at the end on the close. So nothing burger on Walmart. Probably the same thing with Amazon and whatever action was going to happen there. I mean, big print, but Amazon was dead flat essentially.
All right, guys, big day. Obviously, today, one of those trophies here. We'll find out where this market opens up on Monday, of course. So NVIDIA looks like it's going to close around 789, 790. So, that out was pretty much flat. If we held it all the way to the end of the day, we would have got about $1 and change, a little bit better. So that was a good one. We'll wrap that day up with NVIDIA. Guys, have a great weekend out there. Thank you for watching. Thank you to everybody on the stream. And a big thank you to Bears vs. Bulls. So without any further ado, man, it's Trader TV Live. Good day today, as we'll do our little dab up there. Have a great weekend, of course. And
I have to say one last thing, because I've been saving it right for the end.
Oh, okay, good, because I almost cut it off there.
7 years ago this weekend, the greatest thing in my life ever happened. So we got a party. I'm busy planning for a party tonight, or preparing for a party. My daughter turned 7, going on 15. She's not watching right now, but I'll tell her I love her anyways. She's my everything.
Good,
also
that's
with
how
my
it should
wife.
be.
But that's how it's supposed to be.
That's right.
But we love you guys. Don't forget, podcast tomorrow, no market recap.
All right, chill. See you guys.